Coming up next, Weeknight with Ellie Muller. That's right, it's coming up next on the one and only Nick at Night. When late night TV breaks, we fix it. From the gorgeous YouTube dog show, where St. Patrick's Day meets the mud, it's Weeknight with Ellie Muller. Tonight, a conversation about mud and St. Patrick's Day, and an interesting story about Toy Story that will be muddy and clean at the same time. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has brought St. Patrick's Day and mud together, Mr. Ellie Muller. Ha! Welcome to Weeknight Update. My name is Ellie Muller. What's up? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. Yes! The theme song was composed by Dominic Madness Piano, of course, and Tori's gaming spot is Weeknight Day Storyteller. And they are two more shots while it was done, along with Eva Amity, Dragon Ball and Hasbro Television 2004. Hopefully she'll return to this program very, very soon. Pierre Kelly, GDQ, the YouTube Gay, GDQ, Alex K's Toon Zone, Andy Moore Tunes, Bob Corley, Visionet Media, Lola Core, Riley Squiz, Chris 42, All 3 We Do Not Attack, All 3 Be Upset, Small 3 Be Active, and Tater Train Rail Fan. Please check all those people out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have one question for you. What's up? What's up with mud? It can make St. Patrick's Day muddy. Hey, people have used it on St. Patrick's Day before, right? So give me a break, okay? Now, college students in Missouri made a mud pit recently in honor of the holiday. Wow, that's muddy. And hey, don't make the mud haters yell. People in South Philadelphia had to deal with the same mud pit for 6 months now, and guess what? They're mad. That's wow. Muddy clothes are messed up. Sometimes the what's up jokes bomb, and other times the what's up jokes really bomb. But very rarely do the what's up jokes do exceptionally well. I hope that one of these days the what's up segment becomes just as funny as all the other segments. In the meantime, it's time for another top 8 list. Alright, MP. Alright, Pink Cat. Let's go! You got it, boss. Science category top 8 mud products for St. Patrick's Day. Number 8, mud beer. Number 7, mud juice. Number 6, mud polish. Number 5, mud eggs. Number 4, mud flutes. Number 3, mud drums. Number 2, mud shirts. And number 1, mud hats. Will anybody buy those products? For heaven's sake, Pink Cat, they're just items on the top 8 list. Give me a break. Okay, chill. Thank you very much, boys. Calm down, will you? You know the drill. Hashtag Weeknight Update. Hashtag Elder Roll for Late Night. Hashtag Elder Roll for Adults. Hashtag Brother Brown. And hashtag Autism was awesome. Get those hashtags to on social media, please. Right, like this thing, subscribe and bell, share, and chat up the comment section down below. But what we do, please, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with the in-between monologue, Toy Story, a moment for everyone, all the time, random advice, and this week's Count of the Week question. Remember, this is still Weeknight Update, and now here it is, your final tonight.
You deserve nothing.
But the best gifts because you are a gift. Jinkies.
There are 57 kinds of ketchup, billions of stars shining bright. There's 1,000 ways to lose your mind, but there's only one Nick at Night.
Next.
Have you noticed a lot of carpet companies are trying to look like Empire lately?
That's not it. Next.
But none of them is us. Only Empire promises brand name carpeting from $6.95 a yard delivered in 72 hours.
Too young. Next.
Only Empire promises a free Bissell shampooer with 2 rooms.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
So beware of imitations.
He'll do. Get him a denim shirt.
Nobody else is Empire.
588-2300 Empire.
Crosses low, comes from your party shoot, and your party has scored.
Ireland have got to get themselves organised and not be arguing. And here's this free kick. Oh, yeah, the crossbar.
Oh, Koeman here. Luis Garcia. Oh, no! Commitment, the determination, the passion, the heart, and Ireland's great adventure comes to its end.
Welcome back to Weeknight Update. Toys Gaming Spot to have another story for everyone in a few moments. But first, it's the one thing that will combine mud with St. Patrick's Day. Yes, silly? What is the in-between monologue? Correct for $500. St. Patrick's Day is all about the patron saint of Ireland, who has the same name as the holiday. And mud is what you get when you mix water with dirt. If you put them together, then you will have the weirdest episode of Weeknight Update ever. One of the biggest St. Patrick's Day events of all time has a lot to do with mud, and it's the ATV Mud Bomb. Yeah, that's when so many vehicles go into the mud pit. Yeah, tomorrow they will go to the car wash. If you go into the mud hole on St. Patrick's Day, then you might catch a fish. In other words, mud on St. Patrick's Day is actually lucky. Who knew? Now, on St. Patrick's Day, you would usually see a Trucks Gone Wild event. During that event, trucks get muddy, and people get muddier. That's okay because at the end, everyone gets a bath! Yay! And finally, we all know that St. Patrick's Day will always have events that include mud. But have you lost sight of something? I mean, spring is going to begin in a few days. People, forget about St. Patrick's Day. Can't we let spring have a moment? Hey, guess what? Is it time for Toy Story? Yes! Go ahead, Toy Tori, take it away!
Hey guys, Tori Mullins here, and welcome back to Tori's Story. So the next story I'm going to be telling you is about mud. And here's the story. Zama has spent all morning in a muggy puddle making a new friend. Let's do some fun, Mud. What do you want to do? Something naughty, grins Mud. Squint, squelch. Whee! Oh no, Mud! Oh no, Mud! You made Mama's clean sheets dirty! Zama, what have you done with my washing? It's not me, Mama! It's Mud! cries Zama. Mud! What? Mud? Mud! What did you do to Mama's clean floor? But Mud ignores Zama and scampers into the kitchen. Zama, what is this mess? It's not me, Mama. It's Mud. Oh dear, is there anything Mud didn't touch? It's Mud, Mama. Please, Zama. I don't know how to stop it. Enough nonsense, Zama. Get in the bath right now. Zama sinks into the bubbles. It feels so good to be clean again. But where is Mud? Suddenly, kersplash! Zama! The bath is full of mud. I know, Mama, says Zama crossly. And it can stay there. The end. That's the story about Mud. So stay tuned where I tell the next story. Bye, guys.
Thanks very much, Tori. That was incredible, muddy, and clean. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a moment for everyone, huh? Folks, a lot of you are probably wondering why I'm talking about mud and St. Patrick's Day on the same night or on the same show. Well, I'll tell you why. I was going to talk about just mud tonight, but Tori's Gaming Spot, aka Tori Mullins, reminded me that today was St. Patrick's Day. And that's when I decided to see if there was a way for me to talk about mud and St. Patrick's Day on the same show. Well, as you can probably tell by the description down below, I was able to find a news story that had a lot to do with mud and St. Patrick's Day. Also, I discovered that people actually make mud balls on St. Patrick's Day every year. Yeah, mud balls are chocolate treats that have the words mud and balls in the name. Don't go up until you have a chance to eat them, okay? Don't go up until you actually have a chance to eat those, okay? Also, I found out that people actually go on a mud run on St. Patrick's Day. Wow, that will make everyone take 45 showers tomorrow. Anyway, I hope that your St. Patrick's Day was fun, safe, and above all, not too muddy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a little talking time, huh? last week. Now, this is true. All right? College students made mud pits and snake pits in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. Sophomore Matthew Bard said, we have to make sure it gets nice and muddy because that's the spirit of the pit. Well, I don't know if the leprechauns would show up, but if you're going to have a muddy St. Patrick's Day, then that's the only way to go, I suppose. Woo! They used an actual hose of water in order to turn regular dirt into mud. And they even prayed for rain. Well, if you're going to make a mud pit, then you have to mix rain with dirt. You know, sometimes I say the most obvious things at the right time. I guess that was the right time. I will say this though, making a mud pit on St. Patrick's Day is pretty innovative, if you ask me. Yes, it's muddy and messy, but it's also innovative and imaginative. And that's why those college students are getting the Weeknight update salute of approval. Now, in South Philadelphia, everyone's complaining about the big mud pit. That's right. For 6 months, everyone had to live with a damaged sidewalk and a large ditch in the middle of the street at 17th and Federal Streets in the Point Breeze neighborhood. Mary Weber said, it's a safety issue. Yeah, for anyone, especially the elderly. Anyone with mobility issues, anyone unsteady on their feet, kids, dogs, any one of us can get hurt in this. Well, that may be true, but why are you taking it out on everyone else? You should be taking it out on the people who are supposed to be fixing your streets and your sidewalks. And Warren said, there are people with wheelchairs and stuff and they're in the middle of the street. Then they got to figure out how to get across because there's a big, giant divot in the middle. Wow. Just wow. This article said that South Philadelphia was supposed to get everything situated by yesterday. Or by the time you're seeing this, the day before yesterday. I don't know. The whole thing makes no sense. How about some random advice for the world, huh? If your St. Patrick's Day party contains mud, then your friends will say that your parties are just plain wild and messy. But here's the kicker. Your friends will be right. Never throw mud balls others on St. Patrick's Day. Mud balls are for eating. What? You didn't know that? Wow. I guess you didn't pay attention to the A Moment for Everyone segment. Now, if you see a group of muddy people the next day, then you will have the right to say, wow, those people must have had a wild and muddy St. Patrick's Day. And finally, when you are done playing in the mud, please get cleaned up. You already know why. Now, let's go over this week's Count of the Week question, shall we? If a muddy leprechaun comes to you with a 4-leaf clover and a pot of gold, then what would you do and why? Go over to the post section of my YouTube channel page and answer that question as honestly and as thoughtfully as you can. Now, that is it for tonight's episode of Weeknight Update. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow night. That's the news. Namalski, 4x4.
There are 57 kinds of ketchup, millions of stars shining bright. There's 1,000 ways to lose your mind, but there's only one Nick at night.